Welcome to the Yes Prep Virtual College Fair. My name is Jasmine, and I am going to serve as the facilitator for our session today. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping announcements. The first announcement, your camera and microphone are off, so our presenters cannot see or hear you. Second announcement, you can use that Q&A feature in Zoom to type your questions to our presenters at any point throughout our session today. Third announcement. This is just one of a few different sessions that we're offering, so feel free to visit our registration site to sign up for additional sessions. And finally, this presentation is being recorded and you can access that recording by visiting strivescan.com/yesprep. With all of that said, I want to go ahead and turn it over to our first presenter from Carleton College.
Thanks so much, Jasmine. Hello, everyone. My name is Jack Bittner. I'm an assistant dean of admissions at Carleton College. I want to go ahead and start sharing my screen and dive into telling you about Carleton. Carleton is a small residential liberal arts and sciences college in Northfield, Minnesota. We have about 2,000 students on campus. They come from all 50 different states. They come from almost 60 different countries, and collectively about 70 languages are spoken on our campus. 10% of our student body comes from outside of the United States, and a third of our students identify as domestic students of color. About 14% are Pell eligible, so coming from the bottom income quintile in the socioeconomic bracket. And then 12% of our students are the first in their families to go to college. Really what I want to emphasize in all of this is that we really recognize and value the diversity and plurality of our community. And as a liberal arts college, so much of the strength of this experience is drawn from the different perspectives of your peers. And so at a small school like Carleton, you're going to get to know your peers really well, and you're going to learn from them. That is so much about what this liberal arts experience is about. We're located in Northfield, Minnesota, the land of cows, colleges, and contentment. There are 2 liberal arts colleges, Carleton being one of them, in this small town of about 20,000. We are in kind of rural Minnesota, though a 45-minute drive from the major metro area of the Twin Cities. Northfield is very safe, it's very quaint, it's very walkable, and has lovely kind of coffee shops, restaurants, bookstores that you can explore just with a 5-minute walk from campus. We do experience all 4 seasons here in Northfield. As you may have heard, Minnesota does have a winter. It does get cold and snowy, but we also have a beautiful fall that we're in the midst of and a lovely spring. So students really see all of them, but seasons are going to be a part of your time here at Carleton. The Twin Cities, like I said, are about a 45-minute drive away, where you have access to professional athletics, great theater, and really wonderful international dining. There's a bus that goes 3 times a day from Northfield up to the Twin Cities. It also makes it really easy to get home if you're coming from out of state, because it stops at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. At Carleton, we offer a rigorous liberal arts curriculum. We're going to challenge you, but we're also not in the business of failing our students. We do what is called a trimester system. So you're going to take 3 10-week terms as part of your time here. You'll take 3 classes per term, so 9 classes a year. That's typically 1 more than you'd get on a typical semester system. And it really allows you to immerse yourself in our rigorous academics. The trimester system also makes it really easy for students to study abroad. 70% of our students will, and of that group, half will actually go twice, and some will even go 3 times, because again, you are just going abroad for 1 trimester. You'll still be on campus potentially for the majority of any academic year. We put a real emphasis on the quality of teaching here at Carleton. We've ranked #1 in undergraduate teaching among liberal arts colleges for the past decade. What I think that means more than anything is that our students say exceptional things about their professors. They're able to form really intimate relationships, and those relationships help to create internship opportunities, research opportunities down the line. About 50% of our students will do research during their time here on campus. Not all of the learning you do here is done in the classroom, and we really want to recognize that having a vibrant extracurricular life is really essential to the liberal arts experience. You have over 200 different student organizations to choose from at Carleton. They range from athletics to volunteering to music and the arts. There's really something for everyone, and it's easy to create your own club if something you want to do isn't currently represented on our campus. We also have a lot of kind of quirky traditions here at Carleton that I don't have time to dive into right now, but I would encourage you to explore. I think we really, more than anything, try to approach the liberal arts experience with a sense of humor, and that comes through in a lot of these ongoing traditions that have been done for over 100 years. We also have an arboretum on our campus, an 800-acre arboretum with 15 miles of walking trails through forests, prairies, around lakes. It's a really wonderful resource to have. And students will actually use it as a live laboratory as well and do research in there, especially in the hard sciences. We focus on sustainability too. Half of our campus power is currently generated by one of two windmills, and there are a lot of individual ways to get involved with sustainability efforts, like working in our organic farm when you're on campus. After Carleton, our students go on to do many wonderful things. About 70% of students go on to graduate school within 5 years of graduating from Carleton. We really like to believe that we create lifelong learners from our campus. And additionally, here are just some of the programs and organizations that students have attended or worked for immediately after graduation. I want to really just emphasize that you have a place here at Carleton. We welcome students. I think that the Midwest typically is known for being kind of nice, and that's a stereotype that can often be true, and we really take pride in. So know that you have a place here, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have about Carleton. I think that's my time. Thanks so much, y'all.
Thank you, Jack. Our next presenter is from Claremont, McKenna.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Omar Sasweta. I'm the Director of Admission at Claremont McKenna College, and I'm going to share with you a little, my screen went away. All right. So CMC is one of the Claremont colleges located in Southern California. We're in Los Angeles County, just about 30 miles east of downtown Los Angeles. We were originally founded as a men's college in 1946 with just 80 students. Most of them were World War II veterans. We also offered just one major at the time, and that's political economy, with the goal of really catapulting young men into leadership roles in government and business. One of the things that is important to understand about CMC is that we're a liberal arts college with a really, where we envisioned a different type of liberal arts college, one that would really embrace the liberal arts and sciences curriculum, but emphasize the practical fields of economics and politics as a way of developing leaders prepared to deal with the pragmatic concerns of public affairs. So as a result, CMC really quickly developed a reputation for producing outstanding leaders in business and government. Our first graduating classes were filled with successful entrepreneurs, executives, and public servants. So CMC's campus has also seen many changes since its founding. Our population is, we're obviously co-ed now, when our population has risen to about 1,300 students from all over the world. About 17% of our students are international students. Only a third of our students are actually from California, so we do bring students from all over the place. Over the last 2 to 3 years, we've had a really strong student population from Texas. 2 years ago, Texas was our #2 state for students representing other states outside of California. We've also responded to the complexities of leadership in today's world by establishing top-notch programs in government, not just in government, economics, and international relations. Those are our top 3 majors, but also in literature and history, philosophy. We also have our 2 newest majors are incredibly relevant today, and that's public policy and data science. And those are now approaching into the top 5 majors that we have as well. CMC's made a conscious effort to maintain our pragmatic spirit and ensure that we provide a compelling option for young leaders who want to leave college with the skills and experience necessary to lead in whatever profession they choose. So to give you a little bit more concrete sense of how CMC balances these things, I'll just talk a little bit about the academic experience and then a few other important aspects of the college. So 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio, 80% of our classes have fewer than 20 students. We provide a rigorous general curriculum and unique majors like science and management, philosophy and public affairs, which provide a strong balance between academic and real world application. More than half of our students, or a third of our students, complete a double or dual major, and many also add one of our sequences as well, otherwise known as minors, in fields like leadership or human rights or ethics. And as you would expect from a liberal arts college focused on practical application, CMC's invested heavily in student research. Our students not only complete a thesis in their senior year, but also provide incredible opportunities to do research alongside faculty members from the moment students set foot on campus their freshman year. We have 11 research centers. Students are able to engage in paid research, working on teams examining current issues like redistricting, environmental sustainability, energy security. They're really some of the best jobs on campus and help connect academic life to real world issues for our students. Our practical approach also leads to incredible opportunities for professional development. Thanks to our highly regarded career services program, an active, well-connected alumni network, close to 95% of our students secure internships. About 2/3 of our students will do at least 2 summer internships. You're only in college for 3 summers. So those internships could come through like traditional recruiting process that leads students to work at Amazon or Google, or places like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation or Human Rights Watch, or for a government agency or a politician. They could also come through one of our sponsored internship programs in which students receive funding directly from CMC for a self-designed internship or an unpaid or underpaid program. So each summer we hand out about $2 million in funding for internships and experiences. Every single student who comes to CMC with financial aid is guaranteed at least a $5,000 award in the first summer between their freshman and sophomore year for an internship program. As a direct result of these practical experiences that our students have, about 85% of our students go directly into the workforce after graduation, on average earning around $75,000. The last thing I'll talk about is the Athenaeum, probably everyone's favorite thing about CMC. It's where CMC hosts a guest speaker series. The Athenaeum hosts guest speakers who are leaders in their field, whether that's in the private, public, or social sector, in various fields, including politics, research, academia, law, business. Students sign up for the guest speaker events. They're all held in the evening and include a reception, full serve dinner, and the guest speaker's presentation. We do this every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday throughout the academic school year. So 4 nights a week, and it's free for students, free dinner, also an incredible opportunity to connect with the community. All right, and the last thing, because I know I'm running out of time, our early decision deadline is November 1st. January 5th is our early decision 2 and regular decision deadline. We are need blind for U.S. citizens, permanent residents, and undocumented students. We need to update this slide. And we do meet 100% of demonstrated financial need. Okay, so thank you very much. That's all for CMC. Happy to answer any of your questions in the Q&A chat.
Thank you, Omar. Our next presenter is from Grinnell College.
Hi, folks. My name is Emma Opoka Arma, and I am here from Grinnell College. I apologize, first of all, about some noise in the background. Unfortunately, I was having an issue with my internet connection, and so I am at a coffee shop right now. And again, I apologize, but I would love to share with you a few things about Grinnell. So first of all, we are also a small private liberal arts school located right in the center of the state of Iowa. I really do mean small. We live in a town that's made up of just about 10,000 citizens. And then we have about 1,700 students who attend our school. I also do note on the slide here that we have an over $2 billion endowment, because I want to stress that that makes a lot of things possible for our students. It means that we can really invest in each and every one of our students' education in a big way. And I want to take some time to tell you a little bit about our funding priorities. But first of all, I'm going to just give you a few more basics to get you grounded and kind of where we are and who we are. So here are some describers that I might use if I was talking about students who are part of our current student body right now. Even though we're a small school in a small location, our community of people is very cosmopolitan. Our students come from all over the world to attend our school, and it's really only about 7% of our students who come from our home state of Iowa, which is not that we don't love admitting and enrolling students from Iowa, but I think it just speaks to the broad reputation that we have. And you can kind of see some of the numbers on the screen that represent where our students are coming from and kind of some different identities and backgrounds they might be representing, but really across the board, our students are representing a great degree of diversity, certainly geographically. 20% of our students are international students, and then that other, 73-ish% are coming from across the country here in the US outside of Iowa. And then I think really, Grinnell is just a place where, of course, it's a small community, close-knit environment because of our size, but because our students come from all over the place, you're really sitting with people who are just going to have very different experiences and backgrounds than you, and that's very much a part of the experience here. This is a picture of our Spencer Grill, which is a pretty popular student cafe and study space, as you can see, and we do have flags from the ceiling that represent all the different countries our students are enrolling from at any given time. Here's also just a little visual representation for you where we're located. If you drove just about an hour west, you'd get to Des Moines, which is our international airport and where most students would fly in from. If you went a little bit east, you get to Iowa City or Cedar Rapids. Those are other two larger cities in Iowa. But so much of our campus culture is that students really stay on campus over the weekend and hang out with each other, get to know each other. There's a whole lot going on campus, and I'm going to tell you more about that in a minute. In terms of academics, we have a lot in common with our small liberal arts school peers, and you can see that reflected here. We have a small average class size, a great student to faculty ratio, and as an undergraduate only institution, we don't have any teaching assistants. All of our courses are taught by full faculty, and all of our faculty's teaching time and attention is directed at our 1,700 undergraduate students. So you not only have close experiences with your peers, but also close mentorship with our faculty. Something that sets us apart a little bit at Grinnell is our curriculum setup. We have an individually advised curriculum. So that means that there's no core curriculum. You have a lot more freedom and choice in choosing the courses you want to take while you're with us. Overall, there's only one course that all of our students take, and it's kind of like an intro to college at Grinnell. It's how we get you acclimated to our learning environment because our students come from such a wide range of education backgrounds. So we need to get everyone on the same page. You can see here a little bit about some of our top 5 majors, and we do have a lot of different academic programs available here that are reflective of our liberal arts school. I think that you see this, a third of our students double major, and I think that's really kind of reflective of our curriculum setup. Because of the flexibility of our curriculum, our students are really able to go broad, but also to go deep in multiple different areas that interest them. So I'd love to see that in the major combinations that students come up with. I also want to stress, though, that even though you have a lot of freedom to choose your courses, we don't expect you to do it alone, and you have dedicated advisors at every step of the way that are going to work with you through that process. So you have, as soon as you come to campus, you are paired with an academic advisor, a career exploratory advisor who's going to help you kind of think through your plans for post-graduation, and then also a residence life advisor who's going to help you navigate kind of social life I think identity building, thinking about your own identity, how that relates to other people around you, all of that kind of stuff. One of the things that we really focus on is undergraduate research, and over half of our students participate in really deep research at Grinnell. It's really great to get that taste of graduate level work at the undergraduate time. And because we don't have a grad school, you don't have to compete with grad students for these deep research opportunities. There, like I said, are always a whole lot of things to do on campus, and you can kind of see here. I'd encourage you to visit our webpage and sign up for a virtual connection point with a student. I could tell you, of course, about my experience with Grinnell as an alum, but it's always best to talk to current students to get the just most authentic sense of what it's like to be a student at Grinnell. We are Division III for athletics and have 20 men's and women's varsity sports teams, a whole lot of arts opportunities as well. And at Grinnell, we really try to practice this culture of experiential equity, which means that all of our resources and opportunities are available to all of our students, regardless of your family's financial information, regardless of what you're majoring in, etc. We also have a strong tradition of social justice at Grinnell. I think my time is up, and so I would encourage you to again visit us virtually. I'd love to connect more, but I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and pass it back to Jasmine. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. Our next presenter is from Johns Hopkins University.
Hey, everybody. Want to share? So my name is Tara Howell, and I'm an admissions officer with the Johns Hopkins University. Don't have that much time, so I'm going to jump right in today. Here at Hopkins, we are the first research university with a commitment and mission to create knowledge for the world. So we're able to do this through the promotion of academic freedom, diversity of thought, support for new ideas. With 51 majors and 49 minors, each student's academic journey is completely unique. So students have the flexibility to explore and gain knowledge across disciplines. There are no core requirements, so you get to take advantage of a wide variety of classes for credit. And many, 65% of our students will pick up a double major or minor. And no matter what, you're being taught by expert professors. You're going to apply under an intended major and can declare after your first year. However, advising is available throughout that first year to make sure that you're on the right track, or to even help you figure out which major is best suited for you. Once you declare a major, you'll get another advisor who can help make sure you're on track for graduation. Here is a breakdown of our majors. We are pretty evenly divided, about a third of our students in engineering, natural sciences, humanities, all small class sizes though. So average of 24, a student to staff ratio of 7:1. So you are interacting directly with staff who are passionate about their work. And then again, because of that academic freedom, you're choosing classes that you want to be in. So you're surrounded by other students who are also excited to be there, who are fully engaged in their education and are excited about challenging themselves. Here's a breakdown of our student body. So our students are coming from all over the world, over 80 countries, every state, bringing different experiences with them. And because we have so many students of different backgrounds, we ensure that each student is supported in their transition. So everyone from residential advisors to counselors to peer mentors to study groups, everyone on campus is really here to just help you succeed. And all this builds up to this culture of collaboration that we have on campus. And that's found inside the classroom, outside the classroom, in our over 400 student clubs. All of our students are just working to find common ground and learn from each other in all the different experiences they're bringing. So Hopkins is at the forefront of discovery, and our students get to experience that every day in the class and also in the research. So this is a breakdown of our centers and schools within the Johns Hopkins network. And so 80% of our students will engage in some form of research throughout our network. And we do spend $2.5 billion in research annually, which is always an insane number to say out loud, but it just shows that our students are really involved. It is an important aspect on campus. We have students who take the 15-minute free shuttle to the medical center, are working side by side with professors. So it is an important aspect of school. Shifting gears a little bit, I did want to talk about financial aid and the admissions process. So here at Hopkins, we are dedicated to ensuring that all students have the same access to resource that we can offer. So to do that, we are need blind. So we meet 100% of student need without loans for any US citizen, permanent resident, DACA eligible student admitted to the university. So again, any demonstrated need will be 100% covered by Hopkins, and financial aid is distributed in the form of grants, scholarships, work studies, and every student who applies to the university will automatically be looked at for scholarships. So it's no extra step for you. Finally, I wanted to talk about what this means for y'all as you're maybe filling out an application. So 3 things I like to think about is that our students are driven, they're curious, and they're change makers. And that's on campus and in our surrounding Baltimore community. And so again, what does that mean for you on an application? Well, we're looking for 3 things: academic character, impact and initiative, and overall match. So we want to know if you're driven and curious in what you've done to explore your interests. We want to know if you've taken advantage of new opportunities around you or even initiated some of your own. And we want to know if you've engaged with the communities around you and what that work actually means to you. So here at Hopkins, it's our mission to ensure that our Blue Jays are collaborative and curious, and they're ready to go out into the world with all of the experiences that they've gained at Hopkins, whether that be, again, that research at the Med Center or internships with Under Armour or the Baltimore Orioles. The Baltimore area is just really for your taking when you come to Hopkins, and so our students are taking advantage of that. Some logistical things to keep in mind are our 3 application deadlines. Our first early decision deadline is on November 1st. Our second early decision falls on January 3rd, which is also our regular decision deadline. So keeping those in mind as you start your process. Financial aid deadlines are really close, about 2 weeks after application deadlines, and something you don't want to forget. So I always like to say, get started early so that you have time to reach out to me as your admissions officer or reach out to your counselor so you can gather those documents. I think I'm almost out of time, but I did just want to say we have so many virtual opportunities such as community conversations where you can hear from a panel of students about what they're doing on campus. We have an email a student page. We have sessions that go further into the admissions process and financial aid. So I'm going to put some of those links in the chat. So hopefully you have another chance to connect with Hopkins and learn more about us as an institution. But thank you.
Thanks, Tara. Our next presenter is from Scripps College.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kyla Fisher, and I am an admission counselor at Scripps. I'm also a recent graduate from the class of 2021, so I'll partially be speaking from personal experience, partially just about Scripps. So we can go ahead and get into it. So some quick facts about Scripps. We were founded in 1926 by Ellen Browning Scripps. She was a philanthropist and journalist from San Diego, California, and she worked with the founder of Pomona College to create the idea of the Claremont colleges. So you've already heard from CMC. And like them, we started as a college about a specific gender. So we're the women's college in the Claremont colleges. We have since opened it up to trans men and non-binary students. So there is gender diversity amongst our student body, but there's a real strong emphasis on gender equality in the classroom and in equity and access to education in general. So there's a really strong emphasis in making sure that there is a balance within all of our classrooms, and that students can be listened to, respected, and be able to share their perspectives and listen to the perspectives of their classmates and their professors. We're pretty small. We're just over 1,000 students. So you really do get to know the people that are here and amongst your class. As said earlier, we're in Claremont, California, and something really great about the Los Angeles area is that you're close to a city and you're close to outdoors. So whatever you want to do in your free time or tie into your academic or personal interests can be done in Los Angeles. For academics, we have a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and our average class size is 16. Personally, most of my classes were around 10 or so students, and the largest class I was ever in was 22 people, and we almost freaked out in that class. So you really do get those smaller classes where you get to know your professors, and a majority of our classes are seminar-based, so you really are conversing with your classmates on a daily basis. Even if you're taking lab courses and science courses where it might be a little bit stronger emphasis on lecture, there's always the opportunity to communicate with your professor, ask questions to them or to any of your classmates if you'd like to start a discussion. And I'd say Scripps students are pretty well known amongst the Claremont colleges for asking questions and starting dialogues amongst the entire room. We offer over 50 majors at Scripps, but there are also just over a dozen departments that are based at the other Claremont colleges that Scripps students are welcome to major in. You actually don't need a Scripps major to be a Scripps student. So if you find your home at Scripps, but your academic interest exists somewhere else, you can still do both. Because of that and all the things that are offered at Scripps, there are a lot of different things you can take classes in or explore academically. And Scripps isn't super well known for one area and then we kind of forget about the other one. We really do focus on providing a well-rounded education where students can jump into multiple departments and majors at any given time. So even if a student is a dual or double majoring, they can still have minor in other areas. I think it's pretty common that people accidentally minor in something just by taking a few classes and subjects that interest them and then accidentally meeting the requirements for that minor. So students really can jump into a number of different departments like biology, econ, English, politics, psychology, and media studies, which are currently our most popular majors, but we offer a lot more than that. So students really can learn everything that they want to learn by the time that they graduate. A real hallmark to the Scripps academic experience is our core curriculum, and I could spend 30 minutes talking about core, but it's a 3-semester interdisciplinary program, really teaching students how to engage with each other, how to exist in a Scripps classroom, and how to learn how to connect dots between two seemingly different things, which is the core of interdisciplinary learning, which is really the focus of all of our academics. So when students are majoring in multiple things, taking classes in different departments, they really are learning how to create ties between everything that they're learning and finding connections between everything. So that's really the focus of core. So they start in the fall of their first year. So the class of 2025 has just started their core journey, and then they end in the fall of their sophomore year. So the class of 2024 is about to finish core. And each one has a different emphasis on a kind of interdisciplinary learning and giving students the opportunity of meeting various professors at Scripps from different departments and getting to know their classmates and understand what interdisciplinary learning is. So Core 1, which I'll get into and then move on, is the largest class that any student will ever take. The entire incoming class joins together for lectures, and Core 1 is joint taught between 15 or so Scripps professors who come from different departments who decide on a centralizing theme and then each teach a lecture on how that theme ties into their field of study. Students really get to learn from those professors and in those lectures, but then they meet in smaller discussion groups with one of those professors and about a dozen of their classmates to really get an understanding of what they're learning in that class. So then you continue taking core where you specifically choose a course that you'd like to take and then dive a little bit deeper than you would have in Core 1. For campus life, I'd say students have a Scripps life and a 5C life, so you really can connect to the Scripps community and the entire Claremont College's community. We have a number of traditions and events happening on campus, and I'd say a majority of what students are doing in their free time are going to club events, whether or not they're a part of that club, but they'll still be supporting their classmates and their friends and their peers throughout their entire social life. For career planning and resources, we have a CP&R office, which is career planning and resources, and students can get individual counseling or go to larger Scripps events. And that's really where you see the Scripps Women's College experience, where you are getting a tailored experience and tailored counseling based on your gender identity and the dynamics that play into the things that you want to do, whether you want to enter a male-dominated field or help close the gender wage gap for yourself, myself, and just really finding connections to the entire Scripps community in our alum network and in people close to our community as well. So I do want to be conscious of time, so I will stop here, but I'm excited to get to some questions that might end up in the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next presenter is from Vanderbilt University.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And can y'all see this okay? Hopefully, yes, you can. I'm sharing my screen. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Mackenzie Marino. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm your admissions counselor for Vanderbilt University. So Vanderbilt is a private liberal arts institution located in Nashville, Tennessee. So private in the sense that there's no difference between in-state or out-of-state tuition, and liberal arts in that we truly value our students getting exposure to a variety of different ideas, disciplines, backgrounds, and beliefs. Nashville is the capital city of the great state of Tennessee. We're also known as Music City. In a non-pandemic time, we have over 20,000 live music events each year, a third of which are country, 2/3 of which are not. So we like to say there really is something for everyone. Now, we were founded in 1873 after a generous gift of $1 million from the Industrial Revolution tycoon, Cornelius Vanderbilt. Of course, our institution is named after him. Our mascot is the Commodore, which was his nickname given his power and influence in the shipping industry. Our colors are black and gold, and we do like to anchor down, my friends. We're a fully residential campus. You will live on campus all 4 years. Your first year, you have a great experience in the Commons. There are 10 different houses, each with a faculty head in place. They live there with their family members and pets if they have them. After your first year, you'll move over to main campus where you can choose to live in any of our traditional residence halls, living learning communities, or upper division residential colleges. Also, everyone is on a meal plan because everyone does live on campus. You can use your meal swipes at all of our dining locations, and we work with many local restaurants through our Taste of Nashville program where you can use your meal money there. We are a foodie city, so it's definitely fun to explore, to kind of break up your dining routine and try out some of our delicious offerings, such as our famous fried hot chicken. We are mid-sized. We have just over 7,000 undergrads, a little over 6,000 graduate and professional school students as well. Total, we have 10 different schools and colleges, 4 of which are reserved for our undergrads, all right? Those are the College of Arts and Science, the School of Engineering, Peabody College of Education and Human Development, and the Blair School of Music. Each year, we do take in approximately 1,600 students in an incoming class. Around 1,000 of those will go into the College of Arts and Science, 350 in the School of Engineering, 200 in a Peabody, and around 50 into Blair. Total, we have 70 different majors for our undergrads and 72 minors. Well over 1/3 of our students double major, and over half have at least one minor. Students can study things from across all 4 of our schools, so you are not limited to just one. With that, if you are unhappy with the major that you end up selecting, you are definitely allowed to switch. We never want students to be unhappy with whatever it is they are studying. Generally, you'll have about 120 credit hours needed to graduate from Vanderbilt. About 1/3 of those credit hours, so 40, will go towards your school core, as there's not a general Vanderbilt one. Another 1/3 will go towards your major requirements, and then the final 1/3 really is up to you. Again, whether that's in the form of a second major, a minor, you name it. We have an 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Around 80% of your classes will have 30 students or fewer. And this is because we value those close interpersonal relationships you're building not only with your peers, but with your faculty members. As such, I think this is why around 60% of our students do participate in undergraduate research. Related to other immersive experiences, around 50% of our students study abroad, and we have sent students to all 7 continents. So yes, student did research in Antarctica. Additionally, around 72% of our students will have completed at least one internship by the time they graduate from Vanderbilt. Now, academics are great, of course, but you probably want to know more about our students and our student body. As I mentioned, just over 7,000 undergraduate students. We like to say that our students are involved in a lot, and they're definitely collaborative rather than competitive. We preach a spirit of collaboration here at Vanderbilt. We have around 475 clubs and organizations on campus, 82 of which are related to community service, 91 are related to culture and identities. All right, with that, we have 7 different cultural and identity centers on campus. And one that I love pointing out to students is the Student Center for Social Justice and Identity. Within these identity centers, there are various affinity groups as well. And overall, Vanderbilt is a privileged institution. We have a ton of resources and systems of support because we want you to be successful in really all facets of your undergraduate career. So we have, of course, a Rec and Wellness Center. We have a Center for Student Wellbeing, the Health Center, the Counseling Center. We have amazing speakers and performers that come to campus every year, whether in person or virtually. Some examples include current President Joe Biden, Beyonce and Jay-Z, Terry Crews, Ashley Judd, and the list honestly goes on and on and on. Kanye even performed back in the day. All right, so pretty cool, right? In terms of diversity, 43.5% of our students self-identify as students of color, which is important to us as we continue to shape and build a class that is more reflective of the world that we live in today. We know race and ethnicity are not the only indicators of diversity. For example, we have students coming to us from all 50 states, 3 US territories, and about 600 international students, actually over that, from 90 different countries. Politically, students identify all across the spectrum. Many of our students are first-generation college students, which is why we have First VU to support those students here at Vanderbilt. Students are coming to us from all different socioeconomic backgrounds. Let's see, we have differences in gender identities, sexual orientations and identities, of course, abilities as well. And this kind of all goes back to that liberal arts foundation. Another thing is that about 20% or so of this most recent incoming class is Pell eligible, right? So we have these resources in place to support you. Another thing is we have something called Opportunity Vanderbilt. It makes 3 promises. The first is that we are need blind for all US citizens and eligible non-citizens, including those undocumented. The second is we are committed to meeting 100% of your demonstrated financial need. And the third is that we do this through scholarships and grants, no loans. Anyway, thanks y'all, appreciate it. Anchor down, go Doors.
Thank you, Mackenzie. So that concludes the presentation portion of our session today, but now we're going to transition to the Q&A. I want to encourage all of our presenters to return. Feel free to turn on your camera and I will pose a question to the group. Our presenters will respond to the question in the order in which they presented. So, question here, what is one thing you want students to remember about your institution? So we'll start with Carl.
Thanks, Jasmine. One thing that I really like to stress about Carleton is that I think we try to approach everything with a sense of humor. Talking about kind of selective colleges and universities, you know, I think the competitiveness or the seriousness can often come through, but at Carleton, we really do try to, whether it's through traditions or just daily interactions, like take everything with a sense of humor. And there are many goofier, quirkier traditions that I won't go into now, but it's a real identifier for Carleton's personality.
I think for CMC, one of the things that I would want students to remember about us is that blend that we have of the true liberal arts, especially in the classroom experience, with this real practical learning experience outside of the classroom. It works really well on our campus, and as a result, our students have incredible opportunities throughout their time at CMC.
Yeah, I think what I would really want to share from Grinnell College is just that because of the size of our school and the way that we distribute resources, we can really deliver on a very personalized experience. That's the thing that we really focus on at Grinnell is pairing you with dedicated advisors that are going to help support you in your specific goals and your path, right? And we have an intentionally open and flexible structure for our resources and opportunities because we want to be agile and be able to support students very individually.
Hi, so for Johns Hopkins, I would just emphasize our academic freedom. So our students are double majoring, they're minoring. We have students who are biomedical engineers, but also double majoring in French. So I think just that academic freedom is something that I would have loved when I was going through undergraduate, to know that I can take these 2 majors that don't seem connected and find ways to do research in both of them and have staff who support me. So that's one thing I would say for Hopkins.
For Scripps, I'd say that something that really draws people to our campus is our sense of community and how invested our students are in supporting one another, engaging in the classroom, and really being present members of our Scripps community. So you really do get to know the people that you're learning alongside with, and they're not trying to compete with you. They really want to learn from you and also educate you. And our professors really facilitate that interaction in the classroom, and then it's only amplified outside of the classroom as well. So people are really invested in being at Scripps as a student and beyond that as alums and other community members.
I would say for Vanderbilt, one thing that stands out for our students and our student body is that our students are great advocates for themselves and also for others. They know when maybe they're doing too much and when to kind of pull back the reins. They also are ready and willing to speak up if they see anything really that's going on that's wrong or something that they don't agree with. At least they'll push back and ask questions, which is helpful for us because that kind of goes back to the diversity of different viewpoints, experiences, backgrounds, and perspectives that we need to work through any problems that we have, not only within our institution, within the state, the country, and beyond that. So I would say advocacy is a huge thing here at Vanderbilt.
Thank you all for your responses. So we are approaching the end of our virtual college fair. Of course, there are numerous questions that we were unable to answer today, but I would encourage all of our attendees to visit each institution's website to connect with an admissions rep to have your question answered. Before we close, I do have a few closing announcements. So as you exit from this Zoom session, a survey will appear. It's approximately 5 questions or so, but please complete the survey. It's extremely helpful as we aim to improve our virtual college fair offerings in the future. I also want to remind you to visit our registration site to sign up for additional sessions. And finally, you can access this recording by visiting strivescan.com/yesprep. I want to thank all of our amazing representatives for joining us, but thank you also to our attendees. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.